This is my completed version of Painted Rock Railroad in the below stairs space, or the hot water tank should be. So it's built-in modules that can be taken out so I can get at the hot water tank if I need to replace it. Starting at this end of the rail yard, we have a man on the flat car directing the loader operator of the gantry to lower a turnout onto the flat car. I bought a kit of rail stops, and using spare parts from the kit, I built a total of 9 out of a kit that was supposed to be 3. They're kind of rough looking, but this gantry was out of a kit that was for lifting containers, and I made a little adaptation to it. I picked that up. It was actually, there was probably about 2 kits together there. I picked it up at the train show earlier this year. And we've got some workers down here in the rail yard. He's got the cutting torch out there, cutting up some old rail. Lord knows what he's going to do with it. And the street lights aren't on right now. So let's go over to the control panel and turn the street lights off. Now these street lights, maybe not quite tall enough, but I got a package of 20 for, I think it was around $10. I ordered it out of China and misplaced them. You see, I kind of tried to center them between the tracks, but I should have been further back where the tracks were further apart, because as you can see right there, that one, it's rubbing against the side of the boxcar there. And this whole layout here was built over an old wooden culvert, and that kind of rotted away and collapsed. And then the boys are cleaning it out here, and some new culvert coming out of the back of the pickup truck there. Little excavator that I picked up at the train show. There's some of the old culvert, and some new ballast, and looks like some doves found something to eat in there. This is all my rolling stock that I picked up at various garage sales, mostly through Craigslist. This is the second branch of the control panel, because each section of track has its own power supply, sort of, so it can run trains separately. There's supposed to be a power supply on the end here, but again, it was something I picked up at garage sale, and of course that's why it was cheap, because it didn't work. Just like these turnouts, they just don't work. I have gone underneath them with really fine sandpaper and everything, cannot get them to work smoothly, so they all have to be moved by hand. Oops, my mountainside is falling down here. Got a colored background for the waterfall. That's a picture of a waterfall along the Trans-Canada Highway up at Spence's Bridge. And then that goes to the waterfall that I made down there. And let's start back here. My canyon has wires running through underneath, because now I can take the canyon out. That's one piece of one module, and separate these. The rest of it's all on wing nuts, so I can take the whole thing apart. And made the water myself here, and got a couple of swans swimming there, and a sun. What's he doing? He's just standing in the river waiting for the other sunbathers to come down and join him in the water, I guess. And then further up, we've got a canoe there. Now, the little story behind that canoe. See if we can get some more light on the subject here. There, we can see the canoe. There we go. They were going upstream. They saw a hang glider crash. They went up there to see, but they saw some bears, so they headed back downstream real quick. And there's the hang glider crashed in there, and the pilot, he's hiding in the waterfall. You're hoping the bears won't spot him. I made up little stories as we went along here. Some rail stops there, large concrete rail stops made with concrete blocks, which is similar to what I found on some sidings somewhere here in Vancouver. This schoolhouse came with all the stuff I bought, but it didn't really have a place to go, so I kind of put it there. And a little police situation here. Got the RCMP came in at the behest of the CN, Canadian National Rail Police. They had trespassers. Trespassing is a no-no on rail property. Here the police dog was chasing this fellow and he tripped off the end of the ballast there. Kind of took a nosedive. And this kind of slew why anybody would want to camp beside that yucky polluted water, but there they were. And the police came after them. There's some more police action over there. And this is a real bad thing, trespassing on rail property. Many people have been killed by trains. This engine is a replica, Canadian Pacific. It's 5323. That was stationed back in the early 1900s at Kamloops on the Canadian Pacific Rail Line. A little 4x4 that my grandson gave me, topped out on the mesa, scared this buck. Well, maybe not. Maybe he didn't see the Jeep. Maybe he saw this doe over here. You know, boys will be boys. Beneath, there's a golden eagle, or what is it? Great American bald eagle. They say those are obsolete or endangered species down in the States. That's because they're all hiding up here in Canada. We're not so gun happy up here. A water tower I built from a kit. Didn't make it quite as high as it would the kit was for, but it had to fit into the hole in the wall. And it supplies fuel to the fueling station here, water and sand. The gentleman cleaning the windows on the engine there. And a fresh supply of fuel coming in here. Somebody hooking up the hose to it. And then the turntable, I got the turntable working. And the motor for the turntable comes with this neat little a shed. And I doctored that up and built a little kit there for that sidecar. And then we got some engines sitting in the roundhouse. Roundhouse was part of a set, an Atlas set. And we've got some cars here. You can tell that the staff gets paid well at this company. They all got nice shiny cars here. I'll just slide the engine out of the way here so we have a look at the welders down here. Maintenance crew doing some work. Somebody backed into the handrail. They got the electric torch going there, welding it back into place. And then there's a control panel, all the light switches. And this actually works. This one, not like the other one that didn't. And that is the Painted Rock Railroad.